Hey guys, just wanted to share some thoughts, maybe something that'll give you some hope and some peace as we're going through this, self-isolating, quarantine, social distancing is brand new thing that we're in the middle of. Um, I know that this kind of thing, especially uncertainty, can really bring out anxiety and fear. And so my thoughts go to a part in the scriptures when the disciples had a lot of anxiety and fear. It's actually at the time after Jesus died. The disciples kind of bail on the scene and they've locked themselves in a room and they're afraid of everything. They have good reason to be afraid too. You know, the religious leaders just took out their master and they could easily come after them. So they're afraid of, bodily harm. But what I also think that they're more afraid of is that the person, the hope that they've committed themselves to for the last couple of years turned out to be false. It's not true. And whatever their purpose, whatever their calling, it no longer exists. They gave their lives over to a lie. So there's a lot of fear and just loss of hope, and anxiety is at the max with the disciples. Can you identify with that? So then Jesus shows up. So let's read that passage. This is John chapter 20, starting with verse 19. Uh, on the evening of that first day of the week, when the disciples were together, with the doors locked for fear of the Jewish leaders, Jesus came and stood among them and said, "Peace be with you." After he said this, he showed them his hands and side. The disciples were overjoyed when they saw the Lord. Again, Jesus said, "Peace be with you. As the Father has sent me, I am sending you." And with that, he breathed on them and said, "Receive the Holy Spirit." So this is the first time that Jesus sees the disciples after being raised from the dead. And you'd expect that the first thing he would do would maybe drop some knowledge on them, right? Give them another Jesus sermon, give them some theology, give them a good parable. Or if not, right, maybe do a miracle, a display of power, show them that he's in charge. But Jesus doesn't do that. When he shows up, Jesus reads the room, and it's thick with fear, you know? And I think that Jesus reads our hearts, and he sees what's in our hearts. Um, this fear of the unknown, anxiety, panic for some, whatever you want to call it. And so when Jesus steps into that room, instead of all these other things, he does the one thing that goes against fear, which is peace. And he says, "Peace be with you." And then there's just a couple of verses, he does it twice. "Peace be with you" again. And so this is kind of the message. What if peace is not dependent on your circumstances? Because these guys are still going to be in rough shape after this conversation. They're still going to be in a dark place. They're still going to be persecuted for a long time. Their lives are going to be hard. But yet Jesus still says peace. It's almost as if peace is a gift that is given by God to us. This is something that we can ask God for peace. And Jesus will breathe it on you. And it said, and he breathed on them and said, "Receive the Holy Spirit." And it's this personal, intimate experience, breathing on someone. You got to be close. And so in these times of uncertainty, I invite you to ask Jesus for peace. Peace is the antidote to fear. It's the first step in walking out of fear. So as we work together, I pray that you may receive God's peace, regardless of the circumstances. But to know peace is the first step in knowing freedom, in having purpose, and having hope once again.